All right, guys, today we're going to walk through a drawer base unit. This particular unit has T-pull handles, but we're going to start with building the cabinet itself. We're going to have two side plates. It doesn't matter what side they are. Top and bottom, doesn't matter what side they are. Drawer faces, we have three 4-inch drawers and one 8-inch drawer. We have two nailers. We have the pins to put it together into the cams. We have our drawer slides. That puts the cabinet together, and then we will build our drawers. We have three 4-inch drawers and one 8-inch drawer. We have the T-pull handles. We have the slides. We have our slides on the drawer screws. We have our slides on the cabinet side. We have our set bolts for the drawer faces, and then we have our permanent set screws for the drawer faces. And from there, we'll assemble the cabinet with three things. We're going to have a number 2 screwdriver, hand screwdriver for the cams. We're going to have a drill gun with a drill or a Phillips bit for putting the slides on, and then we're going to have a glue for putting the drawers together. So let's get started. So step 1 is getting your slides apart. So you're going to have a slide that's going to attach to the drawer itself, which is here. And you're going to have a slide that is going to attach to the side panel of your drawer bank box. So then they're already pre-drilled, so you line up your holes. And then we take our bronze slide screws and we're going to attach into the holes. Now I'm using the center screw on the back. That lines up in the back. And then when you open up the slide, you'll see the front hole is aligned, which then puts the slide flush with the front of the cabinet. From there, we repeat on the other side before we put the box together. Okay, step 2 is going to be putting our nailers onto our top and bottom sections of the drawer bank. So we take our cam pins and we're going to put the plastic part that's going to expand in the 3 holes. And if you notice on this bottom and top, you have 2 sides with cams, and on this one you only have 1 side with cam. That is the back of the cabinet. So that's where we're going to mount. We're just going to slide them into the cam holes. And this is where our number 2 screwdriver comes into play. When you turn, you get fully around and then a little bit extra, and it pulls it together for a very tight grip. Next step, we're going to put our pins in the pre-drilled holes around the outside of the side unit, the side plate, and then we will be attaching the nailer that's attached to both the bottom and the top to the first side plate. So once we set those in, we'll grab from the previous step, and we're going to line the holes. We're going to slide down, and then we're going to turn our cams to a nice tight fit. then we're going to proceed to the other side. We're going to grab our next plate, align, drop down, tighten our cams. Okay, and just repeat on the second side. We'll place our pins in the pre-drilled holes. Again, plastic down. They will stay in when you flip the cabinet over. So then we align. Down. And then tighten our cams. From there, we can flip our cabinet up, and we have finished the base unit for a drawer bank. All right, guys, next step, mounting the drawer bank box to the wall. Now, we've already gone through a few of the stages to get there, but we'll go over the tools it takes to get us to this point. So we need a level. You always want to make sure everything's level. That way the drawers will work the right way. I have a stud finder and a pencil to mark our studs, tape measure to make sure they're 16 on center. Then we have our drill gun to drill them into the wall and to each other. We have our cabinet clamps that are going to secure and make sure we're flush on our front faces. And then we use a cabinet jack that kind of a helping hand to get it to where we want to go because our cabinets do free flow. So again, we've already marked the studs and set the cabinets. So I'm going to go ahead and attach to the wall and to themselves. So we'll get started here. Okay. Come in here. You have to do the same thing. Okay. Okay, then we're going to switch our bits. Yep. Recheck there. So we're good. Good. We can take off our clamps and our jack stand, and our cabinets are mounted. All right, the next step, when you're doing drawer banks, you're obviously going to have a countertop above them, but you want to make sure you put that on and secure it to the cabinet prior to putting the drawers in so you don't have to take them all back out. So what I use is an 1.5 inch pan head screw, so when you're putting it up through the bottom, it's not going to suck into the cabinet, and then it will not come through the countertop. So we'll get the first ones in, then we'll level it out. We'll check our level. We're right on the money, so then we'll do the other side. Then we'll check our level again. We're right on. And we'll put 2 in the back, and then this will be secured to the top. Okay, we've got a drawer. We've got a back. We've got the front with the oblong shape. That'll be where your adjustment screws go to the front face. And we have the 2 sides. And then we have the bottom of the drawer. So we start out, we're going to put glue into each hole. We're also going to run a small bead in the bottom of the drawer slat. And then we're going to knock a little in each hole. And then we take the front. We're going to line up our dowels and press in. Then we're going to take our back and we're going to do the same thing. Pressure slowly. Now we're going to take the bottom, and the bottom and top, or the bottom of the drawer is oblong shaped. So you gotta, if it's a little loose on the one side, you just gotta flip it over. And then we take our back, or our other side, and we're gonna line up the dowels, and we're gonna press down. We're going to let our glue dry while we build the rest of the drawers. Okay guys, the next step is putting the drawer slide mechanism on each drawer, both sides. We're going to use the silver drawer slide screws and a Phillips head bit. You have an open side and you have a closed side. You want the closed side towards the front with the oblong set screw slot. You match up the second hole in each spot, should line up right to the pre-drilled holes on the drawer side itself. So we're going to take a silver screw and we're going to input it into each of the 3 holes. These screws are panhead so that when the drawer slides on, it doesn't catch the screw. And then what we do is once we get the first one done, we flip the drawer and we put the other one on. Now again, now this is the front side when I flip it. So I want the closed end on the front side, match up the 3 holes, take my 3 silver screws and input into the drawer. And you go ahead and put that on all 4 drawers. All right guys, next step. Installing the drawers into the drawer bank once it's mounted to the wall. So we're going to pick up, you got your front side with the slots. You have your open side on the slide. That's going to match up with these grooves on the slide that's mounted to the cabinet. We're going to slide it in to each side. We're going to make sure we push it all the way back through the soft close. We're going to pull it all the way out to make sure the stop's connected. and then we're going to push it in, make sure the soft close works. We're going to then do that with our 3 4-inch drawers in the same method. Get them slid in, line them up, push them all the way back, engage the stop, check the soft close. Two more to go. All the way in, check the stop, check the soft close. Final drawer, engage, check the stops, check the soft close. All the drawers have now been mounted. Okay guys, the next step, we're going to put the drawer faces onto the front of the drawers. Probably the most intricate part of the job when it comes to a drawer bank, but we got a couple tricks of the trade that might help you out. Again, you're always going to want to use a manual screwdriver. This is your standard Phillips. You have your set screws, which are going to get you set on the height you want and the gap you want between drawers. And then after that, you'll use your screw gun and put your permanent set screws in so the drawers don't slide. So we're going to take our front face. It's got pre-existing nuts inverted into the drawer face itself that will line up with these slots. So we'll take our set screws and we're going to insert them through just manually. Get it finger tight. And then when we close it, we want to line that up with the bottom of the drawer. So once we do that, we'll pull it out and we'll just semi-tighten it. We'll double check it against that bottom of the drawer, which are about the same on both sides. And then we level it. So I do notice that this side's got to go up a little bit. So when I pull it back out, I'll just loosen that set screw a little bit, raise it till it's inside the bubble, and then tighten them. Now comes a little trick of the trade. When we go to set the second ones, we send, with all of our drawers and our countertops, we have these cork pieces that protect them from being scratched. I'll take those and I'll set them on top of the bottom drawer. I take the next drawer and I'll pull this out, lining it up with the set screw. Again, finger tight. And then we'll take another one. And this is where I would line up the sides, because you have play up and down and side to side. Find your set screw nut. Side to side is good. Gap is good. And we tighten the 2 screws. Now we're going to remove our cork pieces. Perfect gap across the middle. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to set our cork pieces up. We're going to pull our next drawer out. First, we're going to get our set screws out. Two in here, 2 in here. And we're going to set this on top of the cork. Get it lined up side to side, leaving the exact same gap as the other ones. Lightly. Now before we tighten, we'll double check it. We're going to slide that over so that they're matched evenly, and we're going to tighten. After we tighten, again, we're going to check to make sure they slide in. So all three of them have slid in and the gap is the same. So we got one more. Pull our next drawer out. Set our next drawer. Put our set screws in. And again, before we tighten too much, we're going to get them set so the distance is the same. Tighten them. Double check the soft close. Make sure they don't hit. And you have yourself 4 set drawers. Okay, final step on putting a drawer bank together is putting the handles on. And it's in the T-pull handle comes the screws for putting them on regular doors. And we have extra screws that are a little bit longer in the same one for putting them through the double thick front face and drawer bank. So we take our drill bits, the same size as the hole that's in the front face, pre-existing. We're going to drill through nice and slow. We're going to run, again, you want to do this manually with a standard Phillips screwdriver. So we'll put it through, hand tighten it, get the other one set. You want to make sure you thread it in by hand quite a bit to make sure it's going to not strip the screw. So once you tighten those in, just hand tight, a little bit of extra turn, and you should be set. Well everyone, that is our tutorial on how to install, build, and mount a drawer bank system. As you can see by the final product behind us, it looks great, gives you a lot of capacity. If you have any other technical or sales questions, feel free to call your distributor, and thanks again for watching.